Imagine you have to choose between two actions. You can meet a scary monster in a dark forest, or you can run away. What would you choose? Without doubt, everyone would choose to avoid the monster. We want to stay alive and safe. This is the instinct of self-protection. It helped humans survive for thousands of years. Now, what if I tell you that procrastination has the same roots? Imagine another situation. What would you prefer? To read a boring 200-page document? Or to watch a new episode of Stranger Things? Of course, most of us would choose the series. Why? Because our brain always looks for comfort, and it tries to avoid discomfort. Procrastination is one way the brain protects us from uncomfortable situations. This is how our species survived in a harsh world. That was before technology made life so comfortable and safe. It is like there is a person inside our head from an old world. In that world, every step could lead to serious consequences. So in any situation, this inner person chooses the safest and most comfortable option. It controls us through anxiety and negative emotions, and it pushes us to avoid uncomfortable situations. So it feels natural to choose the easiest and most comfortable way to feel good. If you are not starving, you will often choose the simplest path. It is easier to do less and earn like an average person. It is harder to do something difficult and earn much more. The same thing happens when you choose between boring documentation and an interesting series. Your brain sees the difficult task as a threat. It fills you with anxiety and negative emotions. These feelings push you to avoid the source of the discomfort. In other words, your brain chooses the easy alternative. It thinks it is protecting you from danger. Next time you procrastinate, try to notice this. It is not just laziness. Your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. Humans survived this way for many years. It is part of our nature. In this video, I want to give you a simple solution. It can help you stop procrastinating. Let me ask you a question. What would you prefer? To watch a boring lesson for 10 minutes? Or to watch lessons for 2 hours? Of course, you will choose 10 minutes. It feels easier. If you choose 2 hours, then one of two things is true. Either you really enjoy long, boring lessons, or you found a way to make this process pleasant. Here is my point. We need to trick our brain. We must make it think the task is easy. For example, next time you want to delay your work, say this to yourself. Before I postpone it, I will do it for only 5 to 10 minutes. If you do this, you will almost surely continue after 5 minutes, and you may even finish the task. This works because the first step is always the hardest. It is like moving something heavy. Starting is the most difficult part. But after it starts moving, it becomes easier. Then it continues by inertia. For example, I do not like writing. It is hard for me to express my thoughts in an interesting way. But I made an agreement with myself. Every morning, I just sit down and write for 10 minutes. Very often, I do not stop after that. I write longer. For example, right now I have been writing for more than an hour. Your job is only to start. You do not need a lot of effort for that. The brain has another feature. It likes to finish what it has started. So when you start something, it can naturally move toward completion. Even if you plan to do it for only 10 minutes. This is like a snowball effect. Let me give you one more example. I study English all the time. One method is memorizing long English texts. Text as long as the script of this video. I really do not like doing it. My inner voice often says, "Do it later." It moves it from morning to evening, and from evening back to morning. In this case, I tell myself, I will learn only a couple of sentences, and then I will do something more enjoyable. But almost always, after 2 or 3 sentences, I get into it. Then I learn a few more, and then a few more. I will repeat it again. The first step is always the hardest. That is why you need to negotiate with yourself. You need to convince yourself the task will be easy. Anyway, I hope this video was useful for you. Write in the comments how you deal with procrastination. Press like if you enjoy this type of content. Then I will make more videos like this. And subscribe so you do not miss new videos.